The political atmosphere surrounding President Joe Biden's recent appearance on The View was already charged before he even stepped on set, thanks in part to pointed commentary from co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin. On the eve of Biden's interview, Griffin, a former White House communications director under Donald Trump, didn't hold back during a CNN panel discussion, boldly calling Biden the messenger no Democrat wants to see out there right now. Her remarks landed as the president prepared to make one of his few public appearances since stepping down and endorsing Kamala Harris for the 2024 presidential race, which ultimately ended in a loss to Donald Trump. Griffin's criticism wasn't about partisanship alone, it was rooted in a broader concern many in the Democratic Party reportedly share. She noted that despite Biden's notable accomplishments, such as holding the NATO alliance together in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, his administration is still heavily criticized for what she described as a disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Griffin argued that Democrats are now looking for a fresh face to lead the party and that Biden's continued presence in the public eye is at odds with a political base eager to move on. She even drew a comparison to Jimmy Carter, suggesting that Biden should take a page from Carter's post-presidency playbook and give his legacy time to settle rather than continue making public appearances. Griffin wasn't the only political voice leveling harsh criticism. Fellow CNN guest and political commentator Cupp echoed the sentiment, labeling Biden irrelevant in the current Democratic landscape. Cupp painted a bleak picture of Biden's standing, claiming that Democratic voters, lawmakers, and donors have grown tired of him. According to her, Biden's re-emergence into the spotlight is poorly timed, especially now, as voters are beginning to shift blame for the economy away from him and onto Trump. It's bad timing, Cupp emphasized, to remind people of the bad old days. Even The View's usually warm reception for Democratic figures was layered with nuance this time. During a previous appearance by Biden in September 2024, moderator Whoopi Goldberg expressed frustration over how Democratic leaders handled the push for Biden to step down. "I didn't like the way they did it," Goldberg told Biden bluntly on air. "We didn't need to hear all the inner fighting." She added that while she had been loyal to Biden, she had always assumed the plan was for him to pass the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris after one term. Leading up to Thursday's live interview, Griffin also voiced similar critiques on The View's companion podcast, Behind the Table, highlighting a pattern in her ongoing commentary. Her concerns, which reflect a growing divide between the Democratic Party's leadership and its base, seem to be gaining traction as the political landscape continues to shift following the 2024 election. While Biden's intentions may be to defend his record and shape how history remembers him, critics like Griffin argue that the best move now might be stepping back and letting new voices take the lead. As Biden continues to weigh in on global affairs and domestic policy, his re-entry into the national conversation is clearly polarizing. With party loyalty being tested and public sentiment evolving, his appearances even on friendly platforms like The View are no longer guaranteed soft landings. Instead, they're becoming flashpoints for deeper discussions about legacy, leadership, and the future direction of the Democratic Party.